Hello, everybody, and thank you for attending our next live session. We have a very exciting topic to review today based on an event that we did last week. Today, joining me on the live session is Elly Tolervy-Suter from Ada, who is an expert on generative AI and everything that has to do with incorporating this technology in customer service. Elly, perhaps you can say hello.
Yeah, hi, I'm Elly from Ada. Ada is a conversational AI platform that's been helping to automate customer support inquiries since 2016, working with large brands like Rogers Bank, Peloton, Meta, and we're really excited about the generative AI space and how that's helping us to deliver value even faster and with more insights than ever before.
Thank you. So we were reviewing together for the event that we did last week. We were reviewing two reports from Forrester. One was the status of CRM customer relations in financial services, and the other one was the state of digital experiences and how things are coming together, and how AI is affecting this space, right? And we found three core insights out of the report. The first one was how important was customer experience in the priorities for both financial services and technology professionals. How improving customer experience was on the top 5 priorities for businesses in the next 12 months, right? I thought that was quite interesting because usually when we talk about growing revenue and reducing costs, we're often talking about sales technology and marketing technology, but customer service is now becoming one of the key elements, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think what I found interesting about the report was that improving CX is a priority for a lot of these organizations, whereas what we've seen historically is that customer support has maybe been seen as an afterthought, a cost center, a very siloed part of the business. But actually, for the customer, they don't care which department they're speaking to, which part of their customer journey they're on. They have the same expectations throughout. And sometimes that's caused friction. And in this environment where expectations of customers are becoming higher and higher, having that great experience throughout is becoming more and more important, particularly when we look at the other trend of wanting to retain more customers, upsell and cross-sell more customers. You can only do that through having a great customer experience. But we're in an economy where budgets are being tightened, people are being asked to do more and more with less. And I think that's where the technology comes in. How can we take some of that off of the humans and allow them to focus on the more complex, high empathy pieces of that customer experience?
Yeah. So definitely customer experience is being seen as one of the priorities, particularly in financial services where trust needs to be created, right? It's interesting as well to see how, financial services in general, like any other industry, is looking for very verticalized solutions. Usually the CRM, the marketing practice, their financial systems are very vertical solutions. However, in the case of generative AI, there's a lot of learnings that we can take from other industries, and because it's more than a management application, is a horizontal solution that can be applied across the customer journey. It becomes the top disruptor for this space, right? So it's interesting how these two converge right now. The importance of customer experience along with the disruption that AI is creating. And Forrester really brings something quite interesting to the table, this concept of experiences on the glass, right? Like on your device through different platforms, through different channels. The device is the driver for the experiences, and how brands need to create immersive experiences that are available through the devices, right? And what they call below the glass, which is all of the intelligence and all the context created from the back office systems working simultaneously to deliver more invisible experiences, more seamless experiences, right? And out of that, they did a series of surveys, And what we found quite interesting is the level of use of email as a tool for customer service, right? And I think there's a lot to learn from that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. When we think about email, it's probably one of the most established channels up there with phone. But the way that companies are using it today, as you can see in the report, is pretty one directional, kind of blasting out email content to their customers. And you made an interesting point at the event. Like a lot of those say, like, no reply, don't get back to us on this email, things like that. So then that's creating friction in a customer journey. How do they then reach out to ask more questions or something like that? So what we're seeing is a real trend of shifting away from an email channel, because if we're thinking about, the trend that we spoke to at the beginning, how do we communicate with our customers more, create a more seamless experience and improve the customer experience? A lot of that will rely on automation to do so, but email is a really hard channel to automate. If you think about customer support today, you'll probably find that your email channel has some of the longest times to resolution because it's unstructured content. You have to go back and forth with the customer to get to the actual resolution. So if we can work on moving to both bi-directional conversations with customers in an automated way, the channels where that's going to be the most seamless are those like SMS, live chat, in-app inboxes, and those kind of content. So that's a real theme that we're seeing, which is almost the opposite of where customers are now.
Yeah, yeah. The big challenge with email is that it fails to deliver a complete experience, right? We eh, Customers are demanding a much more agile and interactions and quick resolution. When you have to go back and forth through email, you lose the fluidity of a conversation that can be provided through conversational tools. The other element is that live chat can provide that, but it's limited to agents being available. So because of the limitations of the tools and the availability of the staff, it's very difficult to get live chat to be completely effective. And this is where generative AI becomes extremely powerful, right? So the concept of having a branded assistant, a virtual assistant that can, take over that conversation and deliver, a complete journey for a lot of the basic use cases to guide customers through resolution, is just taking it to the next level. So then the question was, how come there's so few companies trying, testing, and implementing this technology, right? And there was an initial comment that said that even though implementing conversational tools and generative AI into those conversational tools was on the roadmap, it was not a priority. And we thought that was also quite interesting, right? So what were some of the reasons the companies gave for not having implemented this?
Yeah, it was things like not having a clear use case, lacking budget, not having the right talent, or not having the right technology to support it. And I think all of those really play into each other. What we often see was a limiting factor for deploying AI before generative AI was the resources available, because you still had to train and build on that content. Now with generative AI, you can really take existing content and have that ready in, hours to put in front of customers because it's already been approved in a way that is safe to speak to your customers. And that therefore immediately solves a use case. And if you've got a clear use case that you can automate, that builds your business case and should help to unlock budget. So I think what really is clear here is this is a super exciting and powerful technology, but a lot of people in the customer support space aren't experts in how to evaluate a tool like this, how to deploy a tool like this, and therefore need to lean on experts in the market to be able to come up with these business cases and work collaboratively with them.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely interesting because it's not just one thing, right? It's the having the know-how, being able to prove the use case that will deliver an ROI on the investment, having the talent in-house to make sure that that delivery is fruitful. So there is quite a few challenges, right? And at the center of this is the how to make it a strategic priority to create that competitive advantage that you need. So a combination of talent and know-how, as well as creating the ROI, the business case, to generate the budget for this, right? So in the case of ADA, what is ADA? Where does it fit in within, on the glass experiences and below the glass integrations?
Yeah, so I think the one thing that I'll pull out there firstly to focus on is that the right talent, right resources piece. What we've seen historically with products that focus on AI is that you really need a very technical team to maximize the impact that they'd have on the business. So, machine learning experts, conversational design experts, engineers to connect to back end systems. ADA's been designed specifically with the business user in mind. So it's a completely no code platform that just focuses on dragging and dropping and seamlessly connecting to back end systems without the need for engineering support. So you're really empowering the people behind the customer experience to own it. They know how your customers like to be spoken to, so they're able to implement things much faster. You don't have to worry about getting something on a product roadmap sprint every time you want to make a change, which goes back to that building a business case. You only need to do it once and then you own it with ADA. Taking a step back and what it is more holistically, it's really sort of a modern day switchboard. How can you connect with your customers wherever they live, whether that be on the in an app, on a website, through WhatsApp, over the phone, and how can you deliver to them personalized content that actually resolves their questions by connecting to back-end systems? And I think that this is an important thing to pull on, where we said that one of the blocks to implementing something like AI and customer support is our technology isn't ready to support it. This doesn't have to be a type of system where everything is in a row and then you can move forwards. We see our most successful customers taking a really iterative approach. So let's start with those high volume, low value FAQs, automate those. Then let's monitor the dashboard and analytics to see where our next area of opportunity is and which systems would have the biggest impact to connect to, and then move into that space. So that's how we see our customers leveraging ADA best to create those ever-present, immersive, above and below the glass experiences that for us to pull down.
So there is a way ADA is leveraging generative AI. So there is several components that come together in the creation of these frameworks, right? So what is this circle of this virtual circle where you use already existing assets and things that the company already has into producing these experiences? What are they?
Yeah, great question. So we take ADA's existing intelligence, the billions of conversations that we've automated to date, as well as the generative AI piece from OpenAI, and then we connect that to your existing knowledge, and we're able to conversationalize any content that already exists in your platform to create these conversational answers, which are much lower friction than reading through an FAQ article. And then once we've seen that be successful, this is where we start to layer in the personalization I was just speaking to. So provide different content if someone is a mortgage applicant versus a current savings account holder, for example, if you're thinking about a bank. And then to take that a step further and really drive a true ROI, we then focus on actionability. So having that bi-directional push and pull of data. So I want to update where my home address is, doing that in a digital generative way. And the way that we see that being successful is leveraging generative AI that's analyzing your conversations to show you really clear insights as to what changes to make to further drive your resolution rate. And when you pair the intelligence of the AI showing these areas of opportunity with our experienced customer success team who can guide on best practices, we're then able to upskill the knowledge that you have in-house that you can deploy to customers, So you could just continue on that continuous improvement journey.
Yeah, I guess it's a constant cycle of improvement, right? Where you use the internal knowledge of the business, the data, the the actionability that you can deliver through the tool, and learn new things, and then keep improving, right? So it's all about relevancy, keeping the conversations relevant to the user, making sure that they are safe and secure, and that the information and the interactions are accurate, right? And one of the things that we're finding is that for a lot of companies, they're using very expensive people time on live chat to resolve very simple questions, right? So how do we create the ecosystem to allow the technology to take care of those simpler conversations, so the more complex conversations can be escalated to human agents? So, driving cost-effective resolutions, delivering this through an integration with modern platforms like Zendesk or Salesforce, definitely deliver that value and that immersive experience on the glass for customers, right? So empowering people with AI as opposed to replacing people with AI, which is a really interesting part of the conversation, right? Um, what would you say to companies that are considering implementing this technology? How should they go about it, and how can we help?
Yeah, great question. I think working with a partner who has the experience to be able to guide you through where those quick wins are, what is possible and what's not possible is really important. I think one of the couple of fears that I've heard coming out from companies around generative AI is one, like, is it safe? This is going back to the internet. I think understanding what companies are doing to create guardrails and compliance so that you can stay true to brand, and the other is, this going to replace everyone that we have in the business? Like, no, AI can still only do so much. What this is hopefully going to do is take away those mundane questions that agents don't want to answer. No one goes to work and says, can't wait to help someone reset their password, but they do want them to help make the most of the product, onboard, upskill. And so as customers are thinking about how to deploy generative AI, I would start reflecting, where is our knowledge stored today? What data or knowledge bases do we have that we can help point generative AI to answer these questions quickly? Where does our data live? We don't have to have it ready immediately for generative AI to be impactful, but if we really want to leverage it in the coming years, we do need CRMs that have a 360 view of your customers. And then who are the people that are really going to help to drive this to fruition? Is it those engineers that are being pulled in 100 directions because they also need to build their own product? Or is that best sat with your best customer support agents who can truly then take the learnings back to product and make your product stronger in the market as well? So it's all about knowledge, data, and people, and then who you partner with to leverage that internally.
Yeah, and we definitely can help understand how to make the business case out of it, right? Because it's an investment, it's something new, you don't want it to go wrong. So best practice really does come into place. I think this is all we can fit into the time today. But thank you very much, Elly. For those watching, feel free to reach out and connect with us if you have any questions. Also, if you'd like to get your hands onto the presentation, I'm happy to do that and maybe share some case studies that we've been working on as well. Thank you very much. Thank you, Elly, and see you in the next episode.